Welcome back to TML Weekly. This is Game 3 preview. As always, brought to you by Bjorn and Don Cherry Sports Grill. So the Leafs head to Canada tonight, Ottawa, for Game 3 of the first round series, up 2-0. So we're going to give you a quick preview of this. And, let's start off with the news, lineup news. Robertson's out, Pacioretty in. What do you guys think of that?
Over to you.
Well, we do know, as somebody who's not a Nick Pacioretty, Nick Robertson guy, I'm totally okay with it. I thought Robertson liability, I think, is the safest, most accurate word for his play when the puck is not on his stick in the offensive zone. Pacioretty is a big body. He's going to go to the net. He's going to do the right things. A little bit of a change of pace. I like it. I have no problem with the move. The one thing that I did see a lot of today, which kind of surprised me, if I'm being quite honest, was a lot of play for David Kampf to get into the lineup tonight over Pacioretty. And what I would say is, if I wouldn't have a problem with it if Matthews and Marner were not killing penalties the way that they are. It's a balance of what you're going to get into the lineup versus what you're going to get out of the lineup. And I don't think we need the intrinsic things that Kampf brings right now with where we are. But taking Robertson out and putting Pacioretty in, I think there's a bigger plus to seeing him in the lineup. What do you think, Johnny?
Wow, you're adding a tremendous amount of size, a high-end level of skill. I mean, Max Pacioretty is not the player he was even 5, 7, 8 years ago. But he's twice as heavy as Robertson. He plays the game the right way. If it gets physical, which I expect going into Ottawa tonight, I would rather have that guy in my lineup than the other. Yeah, David Kampf, he'll get in. I mean, you're going to have some adversity, whether it's injuries or guys banged up, or maybe somebody isn't going one night. Kampf will get in. He's big on the PK and he's big on the faceoffs, but you got Scott Laughton in that spot right now who's doing just fine, right? But he's there, he's ready to go. Robertson, you nailed nailed it on the head with the fact that he's a liability away from the puck. I've said it all year. He goes through stages, right? Like he'll go on a 10-game stretch where I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wrong about this guy. And I don't watch him when he has the puck because I know he's good when he's
away from the puck.
He plays a little heavier than he is. If they get their feet moving on the forecheck, he can be very effective. But you're right, he's lost when they don't have the puck in either zone. He's watch his feet, right? Watch his feet, and when you're in your own zone, if your toes aren't facing the puck, no matter where you are, whatever position you are, if your toes aren't facing the puck, you're out of position or you're looking the wrong way or whatever. And I see it 4 to 5 times a game with that guy in the Toronto zone. He will turn his back to the play to look at his check instead of being spatially aware and looking over your shoulder and getting into the lanes to not have that puck go back to the point. So yeah, I'm good with it. We didn't bring Pacioretty in here to play 25 regular season games and score 4 goals.
Correct.
That he did. He came here because he's a big, veteran, heavy hockey player that will contribute. Now, I would like to see him work his way through the lineup. I don't think you reward a guy or you change anything in your top 6 at this point. But no. There's a guy that's available that can jump in literally anywhere in your line, right?
That Pacioretty, Tavares, Nylander line was dynamite towards the start of the season too.
Yeah,
but listen, I said it on the post game from game 2. That game that the Pope played was the best game he's played all year. He was absolutely dynamite. He was everywhere.
Johnny, you'd look good with those 2 guys. Okay,
I mean,
right?
Yeah, actually,
at the end of the day, and I mean, there's not going to be, I don't think, unless it gets catastrophic down the road, you're not going to see Matthews, Nyes, and Marner split up. So the only opportunity to get somebody going or whatever it will be with Willie and JT, and they're going. I like literally, you could put any of us on that line, and you're going to look a little better than you do. I did wonder when they made this move if they thought of maybe putting Robo up there, right, with the offense, because I don't know. I wouldn't have, but
No.
they
never really tried Robertson on top.
But yeah, I mean, so now you got Holmberg there. You've also
listen, Willie can be a bit of a, like, let's be honest about Nylander. Nylander can be a bit of an adventure sometime defensively too, right? Tavares, you know what? He's never been the best skater in the world. He's good defensively.
He's in the right spot. So
but again, if you throw Nick Robertson in there, you're just there. There's no reason to go to that level in a game 2 situation. Like that's a
not yet. No.
That's a game that's like you're on the risk of getting swept 4 straight. And you're trying something just to see
how many options you can slide in with those two if they're not
for
going,
sure. For
right?
sure,
you got about 5 guys. I'd put Lawton up there and give him a shot, right? There's your whole bottom 6, really, except for maybe Lawrence and they could all slot up there. Right?
Hey, listen, even Steven Lorentz has looked good in sparse minutes up there when he's had to play there. He's got a couple goals in big moments. So
100%. But you got Domi still that can go there, and you got Bobby McMahon, and you.
So listen, let's talk about Domi for a second, because
you've been fucking shitting on him all year. Like, are we gonna finally? What did I tell you?
No, but hold on. If let's remove the goal and be clear, he's still welcome to every family event and every family function.
We're going to remove an overtime goal in the Cup playoffs?
No, I'm just all I'm saying is up until that point in the game, it was not a great night for Max Domi. So that's I would like to see
Max Domi on the second goal. That's not a play that a winger or even a center iceman is used to making. That low D-to-D partner pass. That's not him.
But wouldn't you hope there was some kind of communication on the ice about what was taking place?
Was there? Shouldn't it be the guy passing the puck say, "Hey, I'm going to give you the puck"?
Do we know that it wasn't?
Forward wheels, right? Well, we don't know.
We
don't know, but I don't think he was that bad. I think he's been pretty good. He's been thrown around into different situations, playing the wing, playing center ice. That was a big goal. I'm telling you right now, if Ottawa somehow squeaks that one and gets one in overtime,
different series.
Yeah, we're a little bit more nervous right now going into tonight than we are. Right? I still think this is the pivotal game of this series. If Ottawa can find a way to dig deep, and they're a good hockey club. Yeah, you say what you want. It's the NHL. I mean, they've been fantastic for the last little while. They're well coached. They're physical, almost to a point of stupidity when you got what's his nuts there, the 71.
Ridley Gregg.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Gets the snot beat out of him in the crease and gets 2 for it.
How great was that, though?
It was the best. I loved it. Right. And I saw the ref go over and talk to Stoli after, and he basically said, "Look, I'll give you that one. Don't do it again." That's what the conversation was, right? They know what he was up to the other night. Everybody knows. The Ottawa fans are going crazy again. It's the refereeing. Toronto's paying the refs and blah blah blah. No, play better.
Oh yeah, because that's the reputation that the Leafs have had historically, right? The refs are on our side.
Yeah, play better and don't get it to overtime, or you know what I mean. Like, don't let the refs have any outcome. But I mean, it's going to be tough. Apparently they limited Toronto people from buying tickets tonight. They try to get all Ottawa.
Good luck. All 93 fans will show up. It'll be a very loud building.
I think it'll be a loud building. I think they've been lacking playoff hockey here for a while, and I think it'll be
the last time they were in the playoffs, though, they weren't even selling out their own barn.
Yeah, they went to the conference final.
You know what I mean? And great. Now you want to have this, I'm not buying it. Florida did the same thing. Now Ottawa's trying the same thing.
Yeah, but it's Toronto. So it doesn't matter, right? They couldn't have done this if they were playing Tampa in the first round. They wouldn't have said, "Oh, we're only limiting to people from Ottawa." Right? It's Toronto. You're going to sell all those tickets.
100%.
Right?
Right. It's good PR.
There's guys in Toronto that have figured out how to use their buddy in Ottawa's address to get tickets. And there's going to be lots of blue in there.
Resale too.
Yeah.
They'll be in there.
There's going to be lots of blue in there. The problem that Toronto needs to overcome is that initial
5 minutes.
5 minutes of emotion, 5 minutes of the crowd on their feet screaming and hollering and this and that. If they can withstand that or even get one early.
Woo!
Yeah, they'll be sitting on their hands and but they have to have that killer instinct. We talked about it after game one. I don't like this, bang, bang, you're up by 2, and then you stop moving your feet, you stop hitting, you stop forward checking, you're tentative, you're nervous, boom, now it's 2-1 on a bad bounce, and anything can happen. You don't want that. Third goal is huge. You're up 2-0, you got to get that third one. They get you have to have that killer instinct. But I've been very impressed with the demeanor of
Berube.
The whole.
Did you see him after the first goal? After the first goal in game one,
yeah.
And he looked at the assistant coach and was just like, "Boys, act like we've been here before." So
100%.
yeah,
No, he's right.
I
right.
agree with
and you know what? This is a group that they've stayed healthy. They can get a win tonight and get out of there with everybody healthy. Then you got a couple of cracks to finish it off and watch.
Is tonight not a game, though, that you would love to see 34 just take control? Just come out.
I got to be my Tim's picks. Do you guys do that Tim Hortons selections every day?
No, I don't. I don't trust Tim Hortons. I'm a McDonald's guy.
Yeah, but it's a hockey pool.
Yeah, I'm not.
So and they keep track of your wins. So you pick a player from each. Do you do it, Nolan?
I do when I remember to do it, but
yeah, I've been perfect through the playoffs. I've got at least one right every day this week, and if I get 3 more, I get coffee for a week. Jack, come on in. Jack plays it too.
Coffee for a week.
Yeah, Jack plays it too. Say hi.
Hi.
Jackie, who's winning tonight? What's the score going to be, buddy?
4-2 Leafs.
Okay, who's getting the winner?
The winner? Marner.
All right.
Show them what jersey you got on. Might be a little 16 Marner St. Pat's.
Ooh, a little St. Pat's special.
Well,
the Irish in me likes it.
We don't change in our house. So if I put on my white Matthews, he put on.
That's what I'm going with tonight. Yeah.
He put on his Marner, and we're 2-0. We'll wear these until
you lose.
Then we'll flip it and do something.
I wore a different jersey in game 1 and game 2, and
why the hell would you do that?
Nolan, you're tempting fate.
I don't know. Just trying to get the bad juju out early.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think I personally think this might be a big one tonight. I think it's going to be 7-1 Toronto, and I think that in the first period, they're going to take the Ottawa crowd out of it and start even better than they did the other night. That's my prediction.
7-1 prediction.
From your lips to God's ears. Holy jumping.
So we got 4-2 Toronto, 7-1 Toronto. What do you got, Noel?
John, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm going to say 5-3 Leafs. And ironically enough, I think this is going to be a bit of a back and forth game. I expect a couple of lead changes, to be quite honest. I do think Ottawa gets the first goal probably. And I think you're going to see tonight that the Berube way is going to work. That even when we get down 1, we're not going to change the style of play. We're going to be doing the right. Everything's going to be the same. And honestly, we've got a better defensive unit than they do. And if our offensive guys are doing the right thing, and you get shots at Ullmark does not look like he's Linus Ullmark right now. He looks like he's Linus Samsonov. Yep. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get a few leaky goals in, I think, on him if you get the puck to the net. I really want to see Matthews dominate tonight. I want to see him have a statement McJesus kind of game I loved when he was on the bench and he snapped the stick. I thought that was awesome. And this market needs him. This team needs him to just show.
I'm okay with him being quiet if they keep winning because he's gonna come out. He's that good.
But John, listen, he's now, and we hear it all the time. He's a complete player. He's a 200-foot player, and you don't necessarily need him every night to be McJesus. And I agree, you don't. But periodically, there's moments, and like we've just said tonight about this being a crucial turning point game where you can put your foot on the neck of the opponent. Boy, you want your captain to show up and really just say, "Yeah, boys, let's go."
I also think it's going to be very, very ugly tonight.
I hope it is.
If we get to 4-1, 5-1 halfway through the third, buckle up. There's going to be some scores settled and some bells to answer. I expect Ridley, Gregg, and all the regular suspects at Brady Tkachuk. You know who I think is going to go after Brady Tkachuk? Benoit. I think Simon Benoit is going to have enough of him. And you know what? I give that. If they fought 3 times tonight, I'd be fine with Brady Tkachuk going off for 5 minutes and Simon Benoit going off for 5 minutes.
So, yeah, our 6 defensemen against their best player? Yeah, I'd take that one too.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Simon Benoit is a pretty darn good 6th defenseman. I've been very impressed with his play in all 3 zones. He's had
moments. He's had moments.
They all do it.
As a 6th defenseman, you're right. No, as a 6th defenseman, though.
He's playing the game much better than I gave Simon Benoit credit for when he came up to the NHL.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So he's a number 6 on the Toronto Maple Leafs. He could be a 3 or 4 on most teams in the NHL. The way he's playing right now.
Listen, Justin Hall was almost a number 1 defenseman. So
we should never have traded. You see, he's the next McCarr. Justin Hall.
Oh, absolutely is.
Absolutely. Scored the other
I'm telling you, you watch. Sheldon Keefe will find a way to get him in New Jersey.
You know what he did today too? He put one about 4 feet from the pin on number 14 and just outside Detroit. 3-putter.
Sounds about right. No, who do you got tonight, buddy?
Sorry.
Who do you got tonight?
I got Leafs winning 3-1. Matthews goal. He's scoring game 3. Hasn't scored yet. Got 3 assists, but he's due.
I agree.
Yeah, I think I have him in the Tim Hortons pool. Yeah, we have our family pool going right now. We did a draft, so we drafted 5 forwards, 2 defense, and a goalie. So then there's 10 of us. So there's Mindy and Jack and myself, and then my daughter Robin, my daughter Madison, their 2 boyfriends, my parents, and my uncle Bev. So whoever won the winter pool, who won the winter pool, Jack, the regular season?
Me.
Atta boy.
Smashed everybody. I think you won by 15 or 20 or something like that. He was 80 ahead of me, and I was 3rd. Anyway, so Jack got last pick. So Madison, my daughter, got first pick, and Jack got last pick. That's the way we do it. You go up and down the ladder, right? So I picked this year. My players here, I'll tell you who I got, and we'll tell you who Jack has. And I think you guys will appreciate my group because I went with the strategy this year. And I picked a team from the East, and I picked a team from the West. And whichever best player was available, I got. Okay? So the team from the East, who do you think I picked?
You probably got Ovechkin.
No, Toronto, yeah.
Oh, Toronto, okay. Oh, they got 34.
What team do you think I would have picked from the West?
Oh, so I think we were talking about players.
Yes,
from the West? From the West? Knowing you probably went Colorado.
Nope. My team's 2-0.
Vegas? No, Vegas is 1-1. Winnipeg?
LA. Nope. LA. Yeah.
So here's my team. Right? And I picked this team when Domi was still playing with. We drafted right at the end of the regular. First round, Nylander. Second round, JT. Third round, because you had to pick 2 Ds, so you got to get a D in there. Riley. Oh, no, I got Stolarz. So I got Stolarz, Nylander, Tavares, Riley, Domi. And then I've got Kempe, Fiala, and Drew Doughty from LA. That's my team. Both teams 4-0. My one goalie's not, perfect. He's got his points. Domi scored in overtime. That's 2 bonus points. So if you get an overtime goal, it's worth 3 points instead of 1. So, yeah, and I'll give you Jack's. Jack, he's a little bit of a
wild card.
Well, no, he's very analytic. Like he had a chart up. He was looking at how he can make sure he has players going to the conference final. So Jack has Cooch, Aho, Kopitar, John Carlson, Hagel, Stutzla, Hannafin, and Bobrovsky. So
you're going to be in the mix.
But if LA and Toronto get to even through 2 rounds, I should be good.
You're going to be in the mix. You're going to be in the mix.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got? 15 minutes left to go before game time. I think we all like the Leafs. We're feeling positive about it tonight. Thank you to our sponsors, Bjorn Hockey and Don Cherry Sports Grill. And thanks for the support by everybody else. Go Leafs, go.
Peace. Say bye, Jack.
Bye.